Hi everybody, this is Pam Allyn, and we're going to talk about thriving independently, something we are all aiming for, not only for our kids, but for ourselves also. Independence does not mean alone. Thriving independently means that we are flourishing. We are really feeling the strength of who we are, that we can go out and do things and be things, and whether it's at work or in school or at home, we feel like ourselves. We feel powerfully like who we really are.
I think all parents and caregivers would say at the end of the road, what we want is for our children to grow into people who can act independently and powerful in the world. But it's a process, right? You start from being totally dependent as an infant, and gradually over time, we become more independent. We have to understand that you need help to become independent. That may sound contradictory, but it's really a part of the process. One of the ways to think about it is, how do we gradually release responsibility to children so that they gain independence over time? Another thing we want to think about is, how do we promote confidence and courage? You really need confidence if you're going to act independently. Sometimes you have the skills and the ability, but you don't see yourself that way. What we have to do as parents and caregivers is continually find ways to nurture children's confidence. You're doing great at this. No, that was great. I know it didn't quite work out, but hey, that looks really good. And it's authentic. And it's not always just praise about a particular outcome. It's praise of them as individuals. You're really smart. You're a strong person. You have a lot of persistence. You really know what you want. And then when the time comes, whether it's the 4th grade or whether I'm 14 or 40, and I need to act, I know that I can thrive because I have confidence in myself. Courage, which is one of the other strengths we talked about, is really about how do I take risks and how do I deal with failure. Everyone in life, as we adults know, is going to face failure. Can I thrive in an environment where I know I may fail? Can I thrive after failure? Can I fail 10 times and get up 11 times, still with confidence and courage? We instill those values into our children. They're not born with them. Finally, we have to create opportunities. It's hard for us because our instincts is to do things for them, to make their lives easier. We want to make their lives more powerful. We want them to be able to do difficult things. What better way to start doing difficult things than to do them with the people who love us the most? While we take a smidgen of a step back, we're there to help if it gets to become an emergency, but we're just going to step back enough to let them lean into their own learning and their own doing. That's how you become someone at a young age who says, I can do something about the issues I see in the world. I can be someone who's powerful.
We can celebrate the small steps of independence. For a tiny toddler, taking those first steps is amazing, and we celebrate that. But we tend to do that less as our kids grow. So when you see a child finishing her homework for the first time, or putting her backpack together the night before to get ready for school for the first time, or laying out his clothes so that he knows he's ready, those are all things that are about building independence. We can celebrate those things, stop and say, let's have a little celebration. And then finally, let's practice reflection. Let's sit together at a table and say, I noticed you thriving independently today. I noticed how you did that. And then to go out there together to take those courage steps, let's call them courage steps. And each week say, hey, did you take a courage step today? Because that's the path to thriving independently.